Here is a quick summary of everything mentioned Nintendo related in the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. The newest Mario Kart game finally got a name called Mario Kart World. Mario Kart World is also going to be its mainly open world where you can go to the tracks and they're all interconnected in some way. There will be an elimination style mode where you have to be a certain place or higher, otherwise you get eliminated for that entire round. There is now a C button on the right Joy-Con which brings up a Discord-like chat app, which basically you can voice and video chat to your friends while playing games and while screen sharing your games. The Nintendo Switch 2 camera can also be used to put yourself into some games. The camera can plug into the USB-C port at the top of the Switch 2, and the port at the top can also be used to charge the Switch when, for example, in tabletop mode where the bottom port is obstructed. There is a built-in microphone on the Switch 2 itself, but not on any of the controllers. It is very good at noise cancellation, so even if you're at the other side of a louder room, it will still pick up just your voice and not any of the background stuff. There is a game share feature which is basically the same as download play from the DS and 3DS days, where basically you don't all have to own the game, only one of you does, and the rest can play it while locally linked up to you. The screen itself on the Switch 2 is 1080p, but it is actually 120Hz. When in TV mode though, you can actually get up to 4K resolution, but it could only run at 60 frames per second at 4K. The screen itself has high dynamic range and is more vivid. The Joy-Cons magnetically connect on with the SL and SR buttons as they are made of metal. They will not pull off unless you press the button on the back to actually disconnect them. Both Joy-Cons have a mouse sensor underneath it, so you can actually use them as mice and control things with cursors in games. The speakers have been improved and also have 3D space audio. The storage is no longer 32GB but is 256GB. The micro SD cards that you'll need are these express versions. In general, the Switch 2 has faster read and write times, including with the Switch 2 game cards. The dock itself is improved a lot as well. For example, there is an actual fan built into the top which will help with cooling. There's been a couple games announced. The Pro Controller has had a little bit of an upgrade. It looks pretty much the same except with some design changes, and a headphone jack has been added to the bottom, as well as a C button to get that chat option up. The release date is going to be on June 5th, 2025, along with Mario Kart World on the same release day. You can obviously play Nintendo Switch 1 games on the Switch 2 via backwards compatibility, but there will be some Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games which basically are the Switch 1 games but enhanced for the Switch 2 hardware, higher frame rates, higher resolutions, and maybe some added content and some support for the new Switch 2 controllers like with the mouse mode. Nintendo GameCube games are now on Nintendo Switch Online on the Switch 2, and there is in fact a Switch Online controller modelled after the GameCube that you can purchase.